Hello and welcome back, or if you're new, welcome to Chill's podcast. Today we're gonna talk about something a bit more different than we did last time, because last time we were talking about Loftus Hall, which is Ireland's most haunted building. So if you haven't seen that video yet, you know where to find it. Just go head to our channel and you'll find the episode under horror story playlist.
Stories.
Yeah.
Today we are on episode number 2. And it's a true crime story this time.
Yes.
That you were so kind to choose for us.
Yeah, thank you so much for interfering, so much for actually voting, liking our videos, subscribing, being a part of this journey that we're on. So if you are new, just remember that you are our boss. You are the one that chooses the next story of our next episode. All you need to do is to either skip if you don't want to listen to this exact story, or wait throughout this whole story where you can choose which video you want to hear next time. So we're gonna pick out 2 different stories, one horror and one true crime. And it's up to you which one we're gonna pick.
Yes. So today, as we said, is a true crime related video. And we are going to talk about, if you haven't read the title already, Josef Mengele. Do you know who he is?
I know who he is. I don't know too much about him.
I thought I knew a lot about him until I started reading, and then I realized there is so much more to the story than what I thought.
Like, I've heard his name. I knew he was doing experiments.
That's about it.
That's about it. I know a lot about World War II. It's like a big fascination that I have. But for some reason, I just haven't really dived that deep into who this guy is. I know he's terrible. No, I'm really excited about this story. And I know he's about the concentration camps. And honestly, that's kind of why it's so fascinating to me, because I have a great-granddad who used to be in a concentration camp when the Germans were invading Norway. He was a teacher, and he refused to do this way of teaching that the Germans wanted him to do, so they arrested him and sent him to Kirkenes, which is all the way north, almost, all the way north, almost, in Norway, on a concentration camp. And you can actually, I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say his name, but I know you can find the picture online, because he met this art teacher or artist, something like that.
I don't know.
And he painted a picture of my great-granddad on this potato sack that belonged to the Germans, and that is hanging on the wall of my grandma's house right now. It's actually really cool, and I don't know why I haven't tried to find out more about him. I think it's just because I don't know how much this hurt for her. All I know is that when he came back, he didn't want to talk about it. So maybe they don't even know that much either. So something terrible must have happened.
It makes sense. No matter how long he was there, it could not have been a good experience.
No, absolutely not. I know they tried to ask him questions, having to tell about it, but he didn't want to.
Yeah.
But that's actually kind of interesting. Maybe we should dive into that story one time, because that's really close.
Have an interview with your grandma. If she's willing.
If she's willing. If she knows anything, actually.
I think if that is in an angle we were to pursue, we could try to do a little bit more research on like how the war was in Norway and like the concentration camp.
Yeah.
How the infiltration was here down south, because we live quite far south in Norway.
Yeah.
And do a whole other video.
It's not
from
that far
aspect.
from here either, Arkivet.
Yeah.
That was like a prison for those who were living here. And that was a torture chamber.
Yeah.
So
we could go down there. And
that would be cool. Learn more about it. I've been there, but I don't remember much.
I almost lived there for a week.
Are you okay?
It was fine.
It was fine.
I don't remember much about it. We were doing a play through school. Yeah.
Okay, let's continue. Anyways. Mengele.
Josef Mengele is one of many doctors who worked at the concentration camps during the war. That was something I didn't know. I thought he was the only one who did experiments, but he wasn't. Their job was a little different than a typical day at the hospital or on the front lines of the war. In the bigger camps, Hitler had doctors placed to experiment on prisoners, all going for a common goal: to better the German race. The prisoners were chosen from Auschwitz for a main reason: quantity. Most Jewish and Roma who were taken captive during the war were sent to Auschwitz. If you go to the camps today, you can hardly imagine what conditions the prisoner lived through day to day there. But imagine being picked out to be poked and prodded, cut open. You either lived in pain or died from the experiments. This is the story we are going to be telling you today.
And again, please stay to the end and be a part of the community that we have. Just keep slashing. That's why that's your thing. I do the chill, you do the slash. Keep slashing with us and sit down, chill, and just enjoy the story to some level. Don't enjoy it too much. Then we'll be good.
Keep slicing.
It's the Christian way, the privileged way of saying it. I'm in this privileged mood, privileged complaining. Because like I smell like a bonfire. I cut my thumb.
How do you smell like a bonfire?
Because we made hot dogs.
Haven't you showered?
I used this one.
That's true.
Yes, I've showered. Don't call me out.
And then we're going to talk about this horrible, horrible case.
I know, I regret my words. I'll shut up now.
Just sit back, relax, and enjoy the story. Josef Mengele was born in 1911 in Günzburg, Germany. He got a PhD from the University of Munich in 1935 in physical anthropology. In 1937, he started working at the Hereditary Biology and Racial Hygiene in Frankfurt, under Dr. Otmar von Verschuer, who was a leading geneticist and known for his research on twins.
He joined the Nazi Party in 1938 and supported the Nazi goal of creating a clean German race. Through his scientific studies, he was one of the doctors who decided who was physically and mentally unfit, and if you were deemed unfit, you were forcibly sterilized for the perfection of the German race.
From 1940 to 1943, Mengele served in the German army in 3 different branches, mostly in medical units. He also ended up getting promoted to SS captain. In 1943, he returned to Germany and worked for his mentor, Dr. Otmar von Verschuer, while waiting for his next assignment. In May 1943, Josef Mengele got assigned to Auschwitz. He himself might have asked for the assignment, but it might have also been requested by his mentor. He was responsible for the gypsy camp in Auschwitz. When the camp was liquidated, he sorted through the new captives and chose who would be sent to the gas chambers or if they would stay alive and work in the camp.
The prisoners gave him the nickname, the Angel of Death. They feared him. They understood that he chose whether they got to live or die. Mengele was just one of many doctors working at Auschwitz, but he was the most known by far. Even though he wasn't on the selection duty, he would be seen on the ramp looking for twins and other prisoners for his experiments.
Mengele was only one out of over a dozen doctors who performed experiments for SS in the concentration camps. A lot of the experiments happened at Auschwitz, but it also happened at other camps like Dachau, Ravensbrück, Buchenwald, Sachsenhausen, and Neuengamme. The prisoners, however, were selected at Auschwitz because of the sheer number that came through the gates every day there.
The experiments were a way of advancing the medical research. There was no consent asked or information given to the prisoners that were chosen. They were just poked and prodded without any say. Many were permanently maimed, and even more died during the experiments. In many cases, death was the goal.
There were 4 types of experiments conducted at Auschwitz. Number 1 was testing methods of mass sterilization. Number 2 was inflicting wounds on prisoners and or infecting them with diseases to study effects and test them. Number 2 was inflicting wounds on prisoners and or infecting them with diseases to study effects and test treatments. Number 3 was conducting unnecessary surgeries and procedures on prisoners for research or to train medical professionals. And number 4 was murdering and dissecting prisoners for anthropological and medical research.
Josef Mengele sent back human blood, body parts, skeletons and fetuses to his mentor in Germany for research. This is why we speculate that Dr. Ottmar von Verschuer had something to do with Mengele's placement in Auschwitz. He also aided his colleagues at the camp with their research in between his duties.
Mengele, his colleagues and his mentor all had a common goal: to better the German race. As to them, it was the superior race. For them, the importance of the research justified the harmful and lethal experiments they conducted on the Auschwitz prisoners, the inferior races in their eyes. The patients were chosen from Jews and Roma prisoners, but Mengele conducted most of his experiments on children. He treated them better than other prisoners. They had their own barrack with paintings on the walls. They got more food than the other prisoners and gifts, all from Mengele personally.
When the Soviet Red Army marched through Poland, Mengele fled with the personnel of Auschwitz to Grossrosen and worked there for a couple of months. In the last few days before the surrender, he wore the German military uniform and joined a unit. This unit surrendered itself to the US military forces. The US Army let him go, believing that he was a German military officer. From 1945 to 1949, he worked as a farmhand in Germany and evaded getting arrested by the help of his family. In July 1949, he immigrated to Argentina under a false name and again with the help from his family.
Mengele moved between several countries in South America because both Germany and Israel were on the hunt for him to bring him to justice. He got a stroke and drowned while swimming in Brazil in 1979. In 1985, both US, German and Israeli government cooperated to find Josef Mengele and found him buried in Sao Paulo. The last name he used was Wolfgang Gerhard. Would you survive the horrors that Dr. Mengele put his patients through?
Oh my God. This is so annoying how it ended. This is not how it's supposed to go.
I did not know he got away until I started researching for this story.
While reading, I was like, oh, he's gonna get caught, or they're gonna figure out what he did. And he fucking died before
The US let him go!
Fucking Americans.
Stupid Americans.
Vi bara sitter med det där och det bara...
Well, this was the Americans 80 years ago. It's fine. That's something I realized, I think it was yesterday or today. It's 80 years this month. Or next month, it is. Next month. 80 years next month since the war ended.
Oh crap! What do we do? Celebrate?
People flag? I don't know.
We flag? We need to do more. It's been 80 years.
I don't know. I think it's going to be a bigger thing when it's 100, but who knows where the world will be then in 20 years.
I'm guessing there's a new war by then, so we don't have time to celebrate that one ended. So anyways.
I was going to say something, but I'm not gonna.
You know what? In this day and age, we're gonna get cancelled for whatever you say, so pick your battle. Pick which one you want to get cancelled by.
I already said the Americans are stupid, so I think that's enough. I think that's enough.
Okay, can we just put a line under there? It's not all Americans. We know. I've talked to many smart Americans. They're out there. Yeah, they are there, but the stupid ones are more vocal than the smart ones.
I had a customer once, or a client once, when I was a hairdresser, and she was in like a sports bra and leggings, and I was like, aren't you cold? No, I'm pure Viking, and I'm like, huh? And then she just started laughing, because she didn't realize what she said. pure Viking. And I was like, you need to elaborate on that. And she was like, oh yeah, I did one of those like DNA sample tests. She was 100% pure Norwegian.
Oh shit.
Like lines back. So that was why she was like, no, I'm pure Viking.
She's more Viking than me. You know what actually bothers me? I'm gonna blame my mom's side on this one.
No, I take it back. I have no idea if I would have been 100% Norwegian. I was in heat of the moment, and it's a kind of a dream of mine. Okay, bye.
I would have been 100% Norwegian. Suddenly we have this English gene just coming, and that explains my teeth. I mean,
To be fair, would you complain about being a little bit English?
depends. If it's Scotland, I would be
I was just
really
going to
happy.
say.
If it's Scottish, I would be so happy. I would be an American. Like, actually, I am 0.12% Scottish. I would go there. I would go the extra mile. If it's England, it's cool. They'd be posh. It's not me. Now we're babbling again about something that's completely different from the story. Okay.
We're always babbling.
But one thing we did while we were waiting, before we were reading the story, we did research.
Yeah.
Oh, my great-grandpa.
Because I got a little bit like, what's his name? Who is he?
Just before we do anything, we got permission from my grandma. I
Yeah.
asked her, is it okay if we talk about it? I don't know too much about it. What do you know? And she told me a little bit. And from the little information we got,
I was like, what's his
him.
name? And she's like, I don't remember. I think his last name was this. And I'm like, okay. Because here in Norway, we have a website where it has listed all of Norwegian prisoners. That's 44,000 prisoners from the year 1940 to 1945. I just typed the first, or like the last name. First person that comes up was her great-grandpa.
That's actually the first time I've ever seen a real picture, because I've only seen
The portrait.
the painting that was made. That's the only thing I've seen. And seeing him like in real life, it's like, oh my god, that first of all, that's a fucking good artist. Because that's spot on how he looks. That's hard
I
to
really
do.
want to see that. I didn't notice it when we were there.
I'm gonna show you next time.
Yeah.
We're probably gonna go by very
Oh.
soon. If we're allowed of her to do a case about this, we have to find the picture. So as I said earlier, I don't know what happened to him there. I don't think my grandma knows what happened up there, but someone must know.
Someone must know.
Someone has to know what happened. We have to figure that out. If we're driving to Kirkenes, let's do it.
I think
I've never
in
met him. He
general-
died in 86. That was like 11 years before my time, before I came.
86?
Yeah, he died in 1986.
I'm
I'm not born in 86.
no, I thought you were. I knew that he died before you were born,
Okay.
but in my head, it wasn't that long of a gap. I didn't think about years, okay? I'm not saying you're old. I'm old.
I don't know how old I am, but I know I'm not 30.
We're on that again. We're on that again.
Yeah.
We also talked, not here before we started filming, about doing a trip to concentration camps, to Auschwitz, Ravensbrück, Donau.
It would be really fun to do, but it's a long trip.
It's a long trip.
Yeah.
It's an adventure!
Don't positivify death. I'm just gonna...
I meant the trip.
A trip?
The trip
the
itself. Spending time with friends.
I'm high on... Just so you guys know, if you think that we're healthy and drinking water every time we have this, it's not beer. I know that could have sounded like that. It's not alcohol.
We're driving.
It's a bunch of caffeine. Basically.
Caffeine.
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 I swear it's... I'm gonna cover the logo, but I swear it is.
You just eat.
I think it's a mix. I think it's a mix of me not having slept properly the last week, having a migraine, cut myself.
Me being in constant pain.
Doing all this, stressing me out. So now all it takes is one can of Pepsi and I'm up the roof. Okay, Mengele, what a son of a bitch. You see that? I've done it before.
So let's wrap it up. Again, thanks for watching. If you want to see more of these episodes, then please help us. Then please make.
I'm a professional. You see me holding hands?
Oh, that hurt.
You're laughing so loud that the chair's like.
Okay.
What are you struggling on?
I do not know.
What's happening?
I don't know. Thanks for watching. If you want to see more of these episodes, then please help us make it happen by like, comment, and subscribe. I did it.
You did it. We've been talking so much. I'm like, what were we doing? I think the amount of things we have talked about ourselves is this much, and this is Mengele. Stay with us for a few more seconds, and then you get to pick the next episode. You have a week before we start planning from the second we post this video.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you so much for staying to the end. We're gonna send you on your way. You can go. Thank you.
Leave, it's fine.
Yes.
Thank you for joining us and chilling with us.
Fuck, I forgot.
I tried to give it to you.
You do. Okay, I'll give it to me. Yeah. So thank you so much for chilling with us.
Keep smashing!
Bye!